Hello, everyone, and welcome to NECC Spring 2025 Valorant coming up here for week number 2. My name is Sam Talks. Joining me, none other than the phenomenal Catnator. And Cat, we got a great game coming up in here for this evening. We have Converse Purple taking on the University of Maryland Terps.
Yes, sir. That's what we got. Week number 2. One of these teams feeling a bit better going into it than the other, I gotta say. And that the team feeling better, it's got to be Converse Purple. Coming to this one 1-0, just beat OC, a game that I don't think a lot of folks would have had them winning, especially with some bouts in recent years. So the fact they got to take it tells me that they might have what it takes to make a deep run here in Division 1.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Unfortunately, same can't be said for the other team. The Terps having a bit of a difficult time in week 1, but they're also going up against a powerhouse team like Northwood. It's going to be a difficult time regardless, no matter who you are. So tough time for that week 1 grouping stage there for them. But let's go ahead and take a look at our roster, see who is going to be playing tonight for both of our teams. Starting with Converse Purple, Puffin, Rec, Avian, Icy, and Geo. Cat, what about the Terps over there?
Yeah, we got Eugene, Sind, No Paso, Spartacus, NECC to hold up the other side. For Maryland, gonna be a good bout.
I think so. And a lot of recognizable names, right? Coming at least for Converse Purple for me. I see one really sticking out here, Duelist Extraordinaire. Let's hopefully going to be seeing some more of that tonight between our two teams. University of Maryland and Converse Purple, though. By the way, both of these coming up from Division 2 from last semester, last season. Now stepping into the big leagues here in Division 1. Hanging out with the big boys, right? Catnator.
Yeah, hanging out with the big boys. I mean, you mentioned Icy. It's been so phenomenal. You might have caught them Game Changers kickoff weekend. Had a ridiculous showing in that event. One series basically below 40 kills, and that was a series where the whole team just kind of got cooked in 0-2, to be honest. that was a 13 kill series, but otherwise just phenomenal stuff, showing almost topping the leaderboard in every single matchup. Icy's been a player who's been pretty consistent in collegiate, even in those spouts where Converse Purple looked a bit shaky against some of these Division 1 squads. It has really been Icy stepping up in those matches, had some big runs in collegiate lands, so a player I'm looking forward to in this one.
I know we're all looking forward to seeing how they perform. We're looking forward to seeing how all of our teams are performing. Let's figure out the maps that they are going to have to perform well in to take week number 2 for themselves. And, well, Pearlbind gone. First map is going to be Haven into Fracture, Abyss and Split banned out, and if we need to, end on Lotus. But Haven, our first map. Cat, we got the basic collegiate special here, right? You just replace Ascent with Fracture.
Yeah, I don't know if I love this for Maryland, especially coming off of Converse with such a notable win, right, in week number 1. I think Haven's a map that, you mentioned it's been in the map pool so long. You know how to play it. It comes down to kind of what team is better, right? And I think right now that feels to me Converse Purple, though I'd love to be proven wrong. Compositions haven't shaped up too much coming into the season in this meta, so the Terps got to have something ridiculous cooked up if they're going to take map 1.
Yeah, that's a big question when it comes to composition for Haven too. When you think of Tejo being introduced into the agent pool, along with some of the other changes that we have across the board for Neon not being as powerful as she once was, and ISO still being that strange wild card pick that you can get, especially in the collegiate tier. I'm not saying that we're going to see it, right, but there's a possibility. And of course, Yoru's been a dominating duelist on this map. So really wild cards coming out here for both of our teams. But the Terps are the ones that are going to have so much to prove tonight when it comes to Haven, when it comes to this being their map pick, right? And you're hoping that, like you said, they've been cooking up something since week 1 to figure out how to shake away what did happen to them last week and bring it into this week to make themselves that team to stand up against Converse Purple, who we've been really ringing that bell, has been looking so strong even in just week 1.
I'll say advantages for Terps coming into just map pool in general is we don't have a ton of officials or in collegiate or tier 2 for this roster, which gives them a room to kind of hold on to strats, especially in a squad like Converse that does have the extra staffing to kind of do the research on what compositions look like, what map pools look like, what strats look like. So that is an opportunity for them. We'll see. We'll get into character select now. What is pick and ban looking like?
Ooh, okay. All right. We get the unconventional. There it is.
The Astron.
Yeah, what did I say? We got the ISO too. So the double duelist here for the Terps. They want to go with the Yoru ISO, and Converse is feeling strong with the classic pick of the Jet for their duelist. But I think, yeah, you mentioned the Astra, that she's been really coming into her own fruition across, right, VCT, across tier 2. We're seeing a lot of Astra play lately.
Yeah, I've always been a big Astra fan, even in the nerf era. I still think it was such a force. Just all extra map control. You look at a map like Haven, biggest map, 3 sites, having that omnipotent presence, I think, is really big. It's just a matter of how you utilize it. Interested to see Icy move over into the initiator role. I think it looks really good, especially if Greasy has success. The fact that you have someone who can frag so well, who doesn't need to be fragging.
All right, well, they're no worried about fragging. Icy's going to use that fault line right off the bat. The shield's going to protect the ISO, keep them alive for another fight, but it's trades across the board. Stuck into the corner, Greasy! A couple of shots manages to land. And there you have it. Battlefield in mid, littered with the bodies of Terps and only one of Converse Purple. They do get to the A sign, but it's a 2v4 cat that's going to be difficult to fight against.
Yeah, without a doubt. They do have all this space on the A site at the very least. Trips established, instantly knocked down though, so they are gonna have to hold on to just this minimal amount of space. And Converse, I love how slow they take this. Gonna make sure they get a plant down, they get unfair fights, and they're on their way for the retake.
Finally, Spike is gonna be planted. Again, right, you're talking about that 2v4, it's down to the final player, and you just abuse the numbers. Converse Purple looking strong and in charge for this pistol round.
I mean, just a clinical retake. Take notes. Nobody falls. They do a great job of double swinging that. They have the extra look from heaven as well, just guaranteeing all the dots are checked. They'll nail it nicely. 1-0 off the pistol. Just use 1 life there in that early bout down mid. But still, all that extra space they grabbed. I mean, you have no idea that's coming for the Terps.
No, you don't, right? And you think about, if this is how Converse is going to play the rest of Haven, Terps are going to have to be on their toes at all times. Right, you still have the Cypher, so you still have someone able to protect the flank, but I wouldn't be surprised if Converse is going to try and manipulate the map as much as possible. Haven being that playground to really do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, just the tempo you set there as the defense. And you see how much further back the Terps are already playing. No one's extended to mid. There's nobody window. They're giving all this room up early. Of course, it is eco as well, so wanting to make sure that they've got their boxes crossed as well, and they'll start to kind of slide forward now. Moose can be the first to take space, has ran straight into a ghost, and that's all it took down long A to grab that first pick.
We're even kind of feeling a little bit of the Maryland's decision for the double duelist, rather, right? You don't have the breach to flash or the fault line to stun out anyone on that long spot. So instead, you just kind of had to put down a smoke. Meanwhile, No Paso is just gone in mid. Icy's been seen, but it doesn't really matter because you just run him down with the Spectre. And even though you may have lost that, it's Avian to clean things up with the Ghost and pick it right back up like nothing even happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, just that one body to fall. Converse do a great job of trading off each other once more. And you mentioned it so nicely. It helps with the eco as well that they get that Spectre right back into their hands. So another bonus coming their way. I wouldn't even be surprised to see them grab just 1 Vandal into this round. Though the way things are going, I don't even know if they need it to convert the bonus. The Terps going to move things over yet again. This is going to go to his heavy default to C-Long. And oh boy, is this getting red.
Oh man, you no joke. You see it though, they set up the fault line. They have the read. Converse Purple is waiting. It's a jump peek, but they're not gonna do this until they're sure that something is gonna happen here. Try to go for that, and my God, it's a meat grinder. Terps was just not ready for that.
Can we fly the pick and ban graphic again? I think we got it backwards. I think this might be Converse's map pick. Spark is actually gonna shoot 2 back. They've got spike control. They still have the weaponry, and they've got a chance to work towards C. You know, I might have hated too early. I'll be honest.
It's okay. It's okay, right? Spartacus ready to prove us wrong, but they still have a lot to prove for the rest of this map. Through the wall, Avian, disgusting.
Come on!
And then Geo cleans it up. Converse Purple making a bonus round look so easy. With all those nice little weapon upgrades, you're good to go.
That's not right.
No, it's not.
That's not right. Through the Radiant Knight crate. I mean, come on, man. Avian on a show. as they move up to 6-0. They've got 2 frags in every round, 3 in the last, but averages it out, if you will. 3 rounds away, 6 frags. And Terps still looking to get around on the board. This one's back to the eco. Yet again, it's this fear right now of this mid control.
And it's a fear that isn't unfounded, but fear that
not.
Converse Purple is just not gonna give away yet, right? They have control, they have the weapons. Why play into the Terps Esports battle if we don't need to inside of mid? And through all of these engagements, Converse has just been winning them.
Yeah, I like the way they handle it as well. The fact that they did hold on this garage peek, because I'm worried Geo might do something a bit unfounded.
Patience is being tempered though, right? They're waiting. Puffin's gonna make that fight there. Rags turn to the window. No one keeping an eye on it. Then they look back at window again for Puffin to abuse them. Have the 3K inside of the smoke. Doesn't matter, dude. It does not matter. ISO was putting up his shields. It's deadly for Terps. Converse Purple. This is their night. This is their evening.
Yeah, listen, I love how patient they're still playing this one. I mean, we get an example right there. Geo waiting there in garage window. Hears noise, doesn't move, allows for that first pick to be found from the back of platform, and then starts to make contact to pinch them in. On top of that, I love the way they took mid so early in the pistol round. And then afterwards, they moved all of the Cypher utility to both garage and the front of B site, making sure that they don't actually have to play bodies there anymore, which allows for them to no longer float a player to garage. They can float them instead towards the back of CT towards C. So they have all this extra utility on these 2 sites. They don't have to do anything mid until Maryland once again is willing to re-challenge that space, which is the first round we saw them actually willing to do so. And even in that round, it's immediately answered by Geo, who was floating to CT, who can easily walk to a garage as soon as that trip's expended.
I think what makes this team deadly on top of that, right, is it's sometimes just one player can make all of the difference.
Yeah.
Keeping those eyes on, right, Geo inside of window. Meanwhile, Puffin is having the time of their life on C site as a Cypher alone on the site itself and drawing enough attention away. You know, you playing that rat style Cypher, nothing wrong with that, and it works out so well. And it just feels like the Terps right now are all over the place. They are kind of like, I guess you could say lemmings. They look in one direction, and every single player is looking in that direction to try and take these fights, whether it was happening on site or on window. It's just no one is able to get the trades against Converse Purple, and 1 player, 2 players gets away with everything. And so now Converse is starting to realize there hasn't been an A push in like 3 rounds now. Let's just put all the players on C and on B.
Yeah, all we have is that anti-eco look up, and they're caught by Icy so early sewer that, yeah, they haven't really opted to go back. And it was as well the Avian Ghost Frag just picked up all the way down A long. You see all the resources that they're going to expend early. Drone doesn't get anywhere near sight, just has to grab A long, looking for positioning. And even then, they don't really hone in on it. So they use this early initiator utility to clear something and then decide to walk it straight back to the direction where they haven't cleared anything yet towards C long.
This is horrifying too, because look at Geo. They're walking up. I think they may have heard the noise there too, right? Still a scary place. Has to find safety inside of Cubby. The wall's going to come up. I thought they may have had it there, but blinded. Jinho's going to take advantage of it and go into a kill contract that, unfortunately, Yex isn't going to catch anyone from. But finally, we're seeing some of that fight back that we know Maryland is able to bring to the table. Icy, though, to be the survivor, the lone wolf, to have to take the fight in a 1v4. Numbers proving just a little bit too much for them. Terps finally able to get their first round on the board.
Now it comes down to the Terps do a good job of playing together. They take that contact early with Geo, and it's just let's roll it from there. That flash comes in at just the right time as well to find Geo. They don't do any funny business as soon as that smoke comes up from the Astra. And in that case, it's just Geo just a little bit too far down. You know, I mentioned the fact that they played so patiently 2 rounds after that pistol mid-rush, but you know, get a little overzealous there out the timeout, try to catch him off guard again, and Terps not falling for it this time. So far so good out of the pause. Can they keep that momentum going?
Well, Greasy's got another opportunity to show off with the operator. Clean corner, waiting for an opportunity here. Ooh, it was close, so but turns out that Yex is just a little bit ahead of the curve and didn't even need to expend their shield to get that frag either. Jinho seeing everyone on the back of the dimensional drift. Couple of spray throughs with the Phantom, and then play back over towards the site. A lot of numbers on the side here, but Moose has been seen by Icy. Now we got the 4v4 fight.
Drone out, instantly expended from hell, so only info on the one. It's a clean setup here, holding for this post plan in Converse. We saw them in their only retake opportunity, able to win it when they had numbers at their hands. They're going to look for it yet again. Early coming into it, hasn't tagged anything.
That's painful to look at too, and that recon bolt is seeing every player. Converse purple, Avian, small gap in the smoke, still survives with their life intact. Yes, they do, and they even take one along with it as the spike goes off. See if they can maybe grab a couple more. Finally, getting another round here. University of Maryland.
And again, we're gonna get that early pick to get Maryland in, and that one on Greasy comes so early as well that they're also able to keep so much utility at their disposal. So they're able to utilize their smokes. They still have their paranoia for late into that round, and there's really no way to make that retake possible. You had to find something with the Fury Avian, just couldn't do so, and from there it's really locked in for Maryland. So they've done a good job now of capitalizing on the over-aggression from Converse. And it's time to think defensively. Do we slow back down? Do we play back into the patience? It doesn't look like it, at least not in this round.
Seeing something different from Converse Purple. They're having an away team going out through mid. 3 players now occupying this spot. Geo close below, and you're hearing a lot of that too. Oh, but that camera just saw everyone inside of mid. Geo's not giving it up though. Right over on the high ground. Greasy's not landing anything with the operator. Geo's getting away with the one, but that is one and done. Converse Purple, we saw them being so strong at the start of these rounds, but University of Maryland on the comeback from that timeout is making the comeback happen here at this moment. Puffin blinded out by the clone. It's a good attempt. Bullets flew just maybe a little bit further. They sprayed down maybe a little bit longer. Terps could be gone, but BC's just going to save the operator and look towards the next round for better times.
Yeah, great team play from Maryland so far. Again, another traded look towards the back of the site. And you mentioned the fact that Geo stays there and fights. I mean, honestly, you don't have a choice that far down mid. The whole team's walked down. I was going to say if that fight had gone a different way, I appreciate the fact that Converse, though they are pushing so far down, they push 4 there. Everybody's connected. They've got Greasy's op towards the top side as well. So they guarantee that there is going to be trade potential, but no one finds those trades. And I think at this point, this game plan definitely looks segmented around the fact that, well, we feel like we can frag better. And if you start to lose those fights, then it's an issue, as you see in that round right there. So they come down mid. They force themselves in a position where they have no choice but to take a fight. If you don't win that fight, you don't win the round, and that's the case here.
All right. And some good signs of life here from the Terps. 3 rounds in a row. Only needing that one more to tie up Haven 4-4. And it's looking like a strong possibility for them to make that happen. Things are looking so good economically speaking for them too. Converse Purple, by the way, from the 4 rounds that they've won, still isn't hurting for that cash just yet.
Yeah,
granted,
true.
if they do lose this round, that's going to be a different story.
Yeah, this is definitely the round to break. And then they're sitting on max loss bonus. So a chance to save weapons at the end of this one, depending on how it goes. This Greasy op has me so concerned. It just hasn't been able to find much of anything, and they're really using it as this huge bargaining tool. It's in the back of B site there down mid. Supposed to pick 1 or maybe 2 in that extended fight. It's the only option there on C long. Isn't able to find anything, and it's slowly starting to create these moments where the Terps can get into rounds. They're already able to push themselves into a C split because that op didn't find any value. And now it's lost the mid fight.
Yeah, right. It lost the misfight. Again, someone is able to land the headshot. Avian can't see anything, but they did hear the TP. You're trying to go, you're trying to shoot wherever you can, but it's just not going to happen. Converse Purple is already hemorrhaging 2 players. Spike finally planted, and you can hear all of the footsteps. Moose is understanding where these players are going to be going because they have already called for the save. And if you look at Puffin, right, Kat? They have the operator. So they want to say that they think they can still get something from it. Yeah,
and they can rebuy off this round too. If they can keep all these guns alive, they still have max loss bonus. Their max econ should be about 5K on 2 different players, I believe I remember that pre-round scoreboard. So they just have to live here. They just have to win this one singular fight, and they've been able to do so. I do think if you're Terps, you mentioned how healthy they are. They should push for this as well. You just got to be clinical, right? It's about 20 seconds left. And,
That operator
well,
is
the
just-
clinic, yeah. It's looking more like an ER.
Yeah, this operator is a death sentence, I think. That thing is cursed. Everyone who wields it has died so far. It's just not working. Geo putting on a masterclass, gets the 3K, but it doesn't matter. Because it breaks the bank, and now we're getting a timeout from Converse Purple, who, at the beginning of this game, 4 in a row, now answered in kind by a 4 in a row from Terps.
Yeah, the immediate 4-round swing. I do want to see the econ here. I think there is still a chance for the rebuy, even though they only get 1 gun out, but it is going to be tough. And if it's not close enough, I don't think you even really go for it. This timeout, I think it's easy, the decision, right? Hey, you know, that was a great first 4-round, guys. You know, we really locked in. But we're not being respectful enough of our opponent. You know, we got to play a bit slower. That patient play is really what did us in. We're extending way too far, and this team obviously can shoot back. So let's just chill out. I think that's all this timeout is. Let's just chill out.
Yeah, took 4 rounds and a timeout for Terps to activate, but once they did, it's been a runaway show from them so far. Not only that, but ultimate-wise, the Terps has options too. Dimensional drift into sight, do Yoru thing, see where every player is, make the call-outs, win the round. Easily viable to make that happen. And now we get a chance to look at the economy. Yeah, Converse Purple, they're hurting. They're hurting, but they're still able to make the buys, like you said.
Do you though?
If Greasy can get the Blade Storm, right? If they can get the... they can get the ult orb somewhere, just make that gamble and figure out where it is. It's going to be tough to make that happen.
I don't know. Just your opponent has so much econ that I don't know if you even really... Well, I mean, who cares? They made the decision now. So I do want to say I want to give some love to Jinho. I mean, a player who hasn't really had any big rounds, right, but has had big plays. Definitely the reason they're able to get down C long in that 5th round where they do manage to flip things. Finding that frag on a Geo off the pop flash, back of sight 2 rounds ago, once again onto C, that one's onto Puffin yet again, or Avian, excuse me, finding yet another pop flash TP play. It's really been these cell flashes that have been huge for Jinho, just opening the door for the team, and it's been really one and done frags, but those are frags that you have to account for, and definitely is the reason they've been able to turn some of these rounds.
Yeah, it's frags that are cracking open the site, right? It's one player able to do that, and then Converse Purple is scrambling. I mean, losing Avian was enough for Converse Purple to just make the judgment decision of let's just save the weapons that we have so that way we can have an economy going into the next round. And those kind of plays that you get from your duelist, especially from one like Jinho, especially from your Yoru, is so vital and so key to the success of this. And I'm scared too because Converse, they need to get Greasy's Blade Storm, but look at what they're about to fight against.
Oh, got it. Good job. All right, so that makes his buy look a bit better. It's going to be Jinho yet again. Going to confirm the position of this Blade Storm. Actually doesn't do so. Just has the Sova. Doesn't clear back aside at all. So interested that they've hit the go button on this site, but here it is.
Yeah, Greasy bit off more than they could chew. That's a Jinho again being that tip of the spear, the first blood extraordinaire. Avian's inside of sewers though, snuck their way inside of it. Impressive, but Moose holding the line in spawn, in their own spawn. They may reach some contention with Geo if they can go for the pinch. He's going to be making a lot of noise to make that happen, but Avian is stuck there, not able to do anything. Geo claims the life of Moose, and Icy's going to have some more plays of their own, but when you're staring down the barrel of 2 duelists, Geo had no hope to make that happen. Icy drops down below, only to drop into the ground. Swallowed up by it. The Terps in the lead.
In the lead for the first time. They take 5 straight. And that one really just comes down to they play better contact, they hit the frags, and really good stuff from Moose there on that late lurk. Holds all the way in spawn, able to pick up 1, able to allow the teammates to swing all the way through sewer as they were trying to chase down Avian, who saw that first pick and said, okay, I'm gone. As Greasy couldn't find much with that Blade Storm. So they did opt to invest the ult. They invested econ in that round, weren't able to pick it up. They're going to try to play some hero rifles here yet again. Trying to bleeding. But they need more than bandages. They're going to need a cast, aka a full buy.
You and me.
Again, that kill contract is not catching anyone inside of it. Just narrowly dodging that gigantic ultimate on the other side. Ooh, Greasy. making some fights happen. They're getting some work done, but Puffin is really the one that we need to be keeping an eye on. They're occupying that leaderboard. They're one away from the ace, and they know exactly where this Cypher is. A distinct possibility to make that happen too, right? Only 11 HP. Give it to Puffin, the ace, to finally bring Converse Purple around 1 and stop the momentum of Terps.
You're dead, and I didn't feel anything. Not even.
Yeah, who said, you know, I think realistically, right? Oh, it was you. You said that this team had everybody who could just make frags happen. And that's the case right there. The Terps, yet again, try to work their way into a site. They take contact, grab the first pick, and Puffin says, nah, no more funny business. Just picks them up all on their lonesome. This huge stuff coming through from this Cypher, really locking down that site. And they've been kind of everywhere this series as well. They've been C, they've had all their trips mid, they've been playing the A side, they've been a couple stacks in that direction. So Converse able to keep recycling this player and still to find value. It's huge for them in that round.
Oh my god, 2 HP. 2 HP. In a play-by-play caster, right? I managed to be able to count that high, but it's still such a trepidatious moment for this player. Nobody knows who's got inside of it either. Is Puffin gonna be able to do it again? You got rid of both duelists, and you've gotten 2 on top of that. That's enough that you can ask from your Cypher and give Converse Purple the fighting chance they need for this retake.
Yeah, you know he's stuck on site there, so we'll definitely take the 2 for 1. They'll try to push their way back in now. Divide gonna come in. That's gonna split off anything down C long. Let them isolate these early fights, but it is gonna be contact early garage that they do manage to trade.
Someone's got to be able to get rid of it. In sync, in unison, Avian and Icy. The initiator power on the board. Give it to the Breach for that ultimate, and Converse Purple. Took, like I said, took 5 rounds in a row, but they're back in the lead. They've done it now. It's 6-5.
Last round in the half.
So Converse yet again gonna flip the score back in their favor. Took some hero rifles to do so and some very heroic plays, but they've managed to get the job done. Looking now to go up 2 before the half. And they'd love to see that as well. See what the case ends up being here. If they can hold this double duelist comp though down in the offensive rounds, that would be big signs for what is to come.
Okay, we get another operator. It's not Greasy though, it's Icy.
I would much rather have the op in their hands as well.
The interesting part about this though, right, is that Icy isn't using that operator just yet. And sneaking all the way up C long is Yanks. They caught wind of that sneaky little Cypher trip. I'm gonna go too much further than that. It's a good thing that Greasy didn't have an operator though, because Jinho's gonna make short work of them here. Puffin, doesn't matter if you have a shield, they're still gonna get theirs. Protected by the recon bolt in the back lines. Gonna see quite a few of the players on here. Might just be good enough for, yeah, Terps to say, forget C. It's all, let's go to A. Better things should be happening over there.
Yeah, they're taking so much time to go. Converse fortunately have to re-clear all of this defender spawn that is going to get them the chance to walk back in. So they will pick up site. Plant will come down, and we've seen some good Terps post plants here in the gun rounds. Can they find another one?
It's 4v4. And we even have a Soba with a Hunter's Fury online. Play off site. Wait for the ping of the spike. Ultimate down anyone who lingers around for a smidge too long. Avian's gotten rid of their one. Spartacus is still going to make their presence known. Can't be left out of the fight for a moment longer, but that's huge! You've gotten rid of the ultimate, you've gotten rid of a chance, and now we're rolling thunder! Jinho needing to dip into another dimension for the 1v2. Rips out of it, only to be torn down. Converse Purple. It got a little scary for them, but they do manage to take the lead in the half, 7-5.
And they get back to the winning ways. They find themselves a retake success. And that's unfortunate for Jinho. Comes out the drift just as the smoke fades. No one caught off guard there. The curtain unveiled. And back to the winning ways. It's been rounds in a row for both of these teams. This pistol could be very influential. I'm interested to see what the Terps defensive strategy looks like here with these duelists. If they're looking more towards retakes, what the case ends up being. They could utilize this ISO for early frags. I don't think we see them nearly as aggressive on the pistol as Converse, but hey, I'd love to be proven wrong.
Also, yeah, Moose is just gonna push up on C to get the cam down. And I wouldn't be surprised if it gets nuked immediately.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah, right. Hold on, let's see. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay, we got the
Double
two
cam?
cams right on top of each
Oh,
other.
you don't even need the cam now. You got the info. Not even gonna activate.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, they're coming.
Yeah, you just get out of there. Moose struggling. They're running. They're going for it. Puffin deposited in the back lines for the lurk, seeing if anyone was coming. They did see it.
His trigger got stuck. What happened?
Yeah, I just don't know if they're going to be ready for the 3-player flank.
All right, so chance for Terps now to get in on the retake action as Converse look for this extra space out into defender spawn. Spartacus quick on the answer, but traded.
Okay. All right. Now we're looking like things are reversed around, but Gio holding the ground, holding the crouch, but it's No Paso going to get the defuse. They're just running in. Down to the final player. No Paso holding. No Paso sticking. No Paso defusing. And then a quick style point to get rid of Icy. Terps Esports gets the second pistol round of Haven.
Yeah, I think that one comes down to gunshots just kind of covering that second defuse tap. They do. Gio gets in, does a great job of killing the diffuser there. Possibly able to just jump right back down on top of it, and Icy none the wiser. So able to pick that one up cleanly. The Omen with pure confidence just to take that ninja in the smoke, and is able to convert. So the Terps just one round away from getting things back to even straights.
Contentious series. Contentious map 1 for week number 2. Again, these Cypher cams are right on top of each other. One side takes care of the other one, and that's that. You know, Cypher is occupying garage, so keep an eye on the trip. Greasy, be careful here. Don't get thrown away. Don't get put in the pasture before you can use that sheriff. Yeah, you walk close. You see it's hanging out there, so keeping an eye on window. Cage is going to go up too, but reposition back around to see if anyone's going to poke their head through that. On the flip side, Converse Purple, you have your Sova, Astra, Breach, working their way up towards A long. Gonna have to be ready for the Spartacus Guardian. Couple of shots from Gio. It's taking some time. Then Icy wants to go in for a fight of their own. ISO's picking up the shields, but Yex eventually does fall. So,
guns.
Yeah, numbers are going in the way of Converse Purple. Noise being made here from Jinho, and if you're ready, you can try to go for the fight. Just get the spike planted. That's all they're looking for. That extra credits. Terps Esports tying things up.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate to see that too. I mean, low HP bars, but they just picked up 2 Guardians. I mean, that could have been a much different round result, but yeah, just looking for the plant. Can get a little extra money, and they're going to this round now full bot. So we'll see if they're able to convert here. Maryland, they could grab this one too. It'd be looking so good and in very much control for the rest of this game.
Question mark is, how does Converse Purple want to dice this round up? One of the locations that we want to see them try and fight against. Got a couple of looks on their attack half in the first 2 rounds, but now with rifles in hand, see how things go. Yeah, and that's going to be Terps Esports just flooding in through mid. They're trying to take all of this space, but the thing that might be scary here, right, is Spike is still in spawn. And the only one who is here with it is Avian. And on the other side of the smoke is gonna be Yex. They're quick on the draw with that Guardian. Yeah, you've just lost spike control. And now you need to fight all the way back through just to get it Puffin. Puffin playing a timing game. They've seen him over there in Spartacus.
Oh, man.
Puffin looked back, but it wasn't in time.
I mean, this default just got absolutely cooked seconds into the round. I mean, Terps do a great job of pushing exactly what they need to there. Just have a hard read on it. Converse going to get the spike gifted back to them, but the Terps able to pick up 2 free weapon ups, able to calmly walk themselves back into the extremities. And now if you're Converse, you have a lot of work to do, down 2 members.
And time is starting to run out. It's 45 seconds. And Converse Purple still doesn't know where they want to go. Finally, pings are going to come onto the mini-map for A, but Spartacus is looking down here with a new Vandal in hand. They picked up from Puffin. Blinded out though they may be, now you just rush back to the site. And that should be the alarm bells for Terps to regroup on A, take your fights, take your chances here. Spartacus may not be, I say may not be able to. You've taken down another. We're getting a very stark deja vu moment. Kill contract. You're going to pull in one player. You're going to pull in Icy. The good news here is that Yex doesn't have the shield, and Icy's going to take that fight. Gio has to protect their breach on the field, but the second they come out, it's just a story written in blood.
Yeah, absolutely so. An intelligent play with the kill contract, even if they don't win that one, just guaranteeing that Icy's coming back in havoc. These are how quickly the Terp squad ran their way out of the defender side. towards A there, just guaranteeing they're going to have an easier fight, and they certainly did. They'll take that one as stride. They'll take weapons out of it as well. Rebuy going to look great for them. They've got tons of money at their disposal, winning that bonus. And it's trouble for Converse right now. They're going to put what they can together, an upgraded Chico round, if you will. They've got to hit something quick, hope for the best. They really need to pick up rifles.
Pick up rifles. They're also picking up the pace too. Over the top. I say over the top, but instead they got caught inside of the trip. Still, Jinho is just hanging out. They're chilling. They're having the time of their lives. This Avian and Icy Stingers popping off just a little bit better, but 6 HP for your Sova is dire straits regardless. Any stray bullet, any stray shot through the wall, on the leg, and the pinky toe, they're gone.
Without a doubt, drone gonna come in. Let me get Icy back to the side. Battery dies right before, but they do hear the footsteps. And that's enough to call out the Rolling Thunder. So that's gonna hit one. It does not quite hit it. The Sova, so there is some room to work with here. Paso instantly down into this cage. And it's a 2-on-2.
Or Puffin. It's just a sheriff though, right? And 6 HP on your Sova. This shot needs to land. It needs to be massive, but Avian, 6 HP again. Going for the defuse. Yex at the half, going and saving the day. Avian, he may be at death's door, but he's pushing everyone else through it.
Choosing to stick there, just hoping that Avian's so low HP won't take the contest, and just doesn't end up being the case. Converse get gifted back into that round, in a round they definitely wanted to have. That helps the econ so immensely. It gives them a full buy back into this round and makes sure that they still have an inkling at this one at the perfect timing. It gets things evened up. A chance to win this gun round and get back into control throughout the rest of the series.
It's round after round. We're getting haymaker after haymaker. Converse Purple wants to default again. Even the spike inside a spawn. Geo tucked inside a cubby. No one quite crazy enough to... Oh, there it is. Spartacus made the jump. And Geo heard everything. Was not expecting someone to be there. And judicious clearing of all of these corners. The Aldron's going to go in. Spots the ISO. Now 2. Everyone can take the fight. Even Geo falls here. So, wait a minute. Yex wasn't supposed to get away with 2. Not like that. Surely. Oh. I see a no passo. They want to duel with each other. Jinho's there too. Instead, you're just going to back away, play with the numbers you still have remaining against Terps 3 as well on top of that.
Yeah, big from Yex just to be able to even this one back out in terms of player count. So Omen TP not going to get stuck, so no passo will head back now towards C. But as info, 2 players working down A long. Keeps the Cypher here. Icy with fantastic positioning. Going to pick up 1.
Yeah, now Icy sees everything happening on the C site, and they're going to make sure they're keeping their eyes on CT. Jinho has a massive responsibility to win, and they do. It's 30 HP though. The rest of Converse has to stick on this site. There is no other choice. Go into the next dimension. Give out the information for something that Moose can work with. They have to set down the spike. They have to play for this. Spray through the smoke. Come out on the other side. Time running low. Jinho, no HP. Spike planted. Numbers running away from them. Go with the cam, see over the side. You know they're hiding out inside of Cumby. Now you just use the numbers. Go for the crazy swings. Avian even has the Hunter's Fury as a get out of jail free card. Hopefully they don't need to use it here. Perfect.
Yeah, great refrag. Avian patient there. Buffalo grabbed the first contact. Easy swing there from Box. Able to pick it up. Converse going to grab their second round in a row and keep things cooking for themselves. Was looking like it was going to be broken econ just 2 rounds ago. And suddenly they've got control. And they've got tons of ults to work with going forward into this round. Round 18 on the way. It is the likes of players like Avian and Icy getting the job done. I mean, they really do a good job of just holding on to their composure there in that round. Yex is not supposed to pick up 2 there. They use drone, they use shock bolt to try to clear it. Still doesn't work. They're able to pick up 2, and they still manage to hold their composure. They sneak Icy through garage. They're able to find that frag in the back and rework it all the way to C site to come up with a round win.
By the way, I want to talk about that scoreboard, like 4-4, 3-3, and then not to happen again if Converse Purple can win this round. Just little things like that makes my brains happy. But Icy's hearing a lot of shots coming in this direction, and they don't like that. Neither do I, buddy, right? Now with the Cypher trip gone, that gives Terps Esports some more free reign to mess around in the backline if they want to. They're not gonna do that. Instead, it's just take the swing here, clear out the corners, clear out all the close corners. Spartacus, that's a crazy move. And Greasy's gone. Duelist taken out. Converse purple. Icy sneaking deftly inside of sewers. The best part about this is, right, Converse purple can use that neural theft, figure out exactly where Maryland is hiding.
If they can. They're going to look to move now towards garage. There will still be this trip here, but they could catch this Omen by surprise. It's going to be shoulder peeks from both sides. It's the fight towards mid instead, and it's going to be Foley one out by Converse. They'll take 2 in mid, they'll take 1 in garage, and now they've got full reign of the map, but 20 seconds to play it.
It's a mad dash over too for Moose. They know that the garage trip has been taken care of.
You just have to stop playing it.
Yeah. Got to, right? But they can't. There's no way. There's no possible opportunity for that to happen. Gio's gonna put down a star. Smoke is gonna go up. Moose, knowing that some sneaky player has to be making their play inside of B. I see. May not have heard the drop though, so right, they're gonna look all over. Call could be made to save. Eyes not inside of garage though. Gio's gonna have to sacrifice their life, but Icy quick on the revenge arc for this team. Converse purple definitely moving in to the double digits.
Icy's Cole with it, constantly stabbing players in the back yet again, going to find themselves a clean flank pick. They'll be Terps yet again into their timeout. And this could be what they need. They lost the first 4 rounds of this map. They took a timeout, and next thing you knew, they won themselves 5 straight. Could this be the same case for them to vie back into the lead? Curious to see what the solve is for them in terms of this timeout. It doesn't feel like they've really been taken advantage of. I don't feel like the extremities have been rough. I feel like it's just been these late rounds where Converse sneak in a player in the back line. They sneak a frag out, and next thing you know, it's rounds taken right from under their nose.
It's kind of relevant right now too, Kat, if you're looking at how
Yeah, like I did there.
Yeah, I like that a lot, buddy. That was very good. It was very good. Terps Esports, though, they got to hopefully get something very good working off the back of this timeout. Figure out a right way to use this kill contract, which goes one of 2 ways. It's either Yex missing, which is unfortunate, or they get someone inside of it and they lose. But Converse usually is already down to the numbers that the rest of Terps can clean up whatever Yex can't inside of the gulag. But Converse purple is 2 rounds in the lead now. 3 in a row that they've had so far for themselves, and not to mention a couple of powerful ultimates of their own that they have on board. Greasy's just full speed ahead, right? Cage goes up, them deposited inside of sewers.
Well, what would you prefer? Would you prefer that the contract grabbed nothing, or would you prefer that they lost the fight?
For I guess the contract grabs nothing. You want to have as many players, right? You want to.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it worked out for the retake. You know, it's like a strategic death. You know.
This right here might be a strategic death from
I don't
Spartacus.
think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think that's just what we call in my rank games a death.
Oh man, that's me in my ranked games too. It's okay. I'm not going to talk about that too much, especially not what happened earlier tonight. But Terps got to have a lot of conversation. There it is, though. Kill contract.
I don't know how I feel about this one either.
Well, he's got his shield up, right? Double tap is alive, and
That's how I
still
feel.
Greasy puts ISO out to pasture. Not what you want. Not with a valuable ultimate like that. That could have been the ticket back into it. But Terps Esports can't even look at the sight before being taken out by the rest of Converse. That could have been bad too for Greasy, right? Dashed into CT. They're still going to go for it. Just make the swing happen. Yeah, reload. Just pull out the classic. Just run him down the knife from Icy.
Okay.
Nah. Flawless knife from Icy? Nah, bro.
I said Icy's been stabbing players, and they took that literally. Gonna go ahead and grab that. That was a quick little frag there. Greasy couldn't get the job done. It was just the decoy all along. And I don't know about the Yex ult there. You know, I said it would look good on the retake because it was able to get the extra player. It just caught out. Like Icy had nothing to do being stuck in the contract, even though they did win it. But in that instance, I mean, it's really early. No one's really set for the retake in general, so getting a player out doesn't really do any services. And you have the chance to still drone for info, so it just, you know, time. But they are going to make it back here early, at least by the likes of Jinho grabbing an op frag.
Can't believe it. Is that the first frag with the operator that we've had? Maybe, right?
I hope
and now
not.
You're just gonna get. Now you're just gonna get out of there. Greasy trying to clear all the corners, but Spartacus in a weird off angle. Not gonna work out well for them. Avenging what happened to them in the previous round, and things are looking massively good if you're the Terps. Converse Purple still inching their way up on a long. Doesn't see another avenue of opportunity to take fights elsewhere. And Spartacus is just gonna quite simply keep jumping up on top of the high ground and sees lone Cypher here.
Puff just got a lot of space back aside. It's a matter of when does Spartacus swing, and the answer is now. Able to find themselves one is a 2-for-1 trade on site, and Geo has a whole lot of work to do if they want Converse to win this round.
That's gonna be a big mess. Again, though, it's kind of like these oft clears of an angle where you look away, then you look back because you're like, wait a minute, Gex is here. Not working out well for Converse Purple, and that round in general not working out well for them. And all starts off with Jinho doing what Converse wasn't able to with an operator, and that's get a kill with it. It's good enough because then it led into Puffin using the neural theft, figuring out where Converse Purple is going, where they're leaning. Greasy was seen by that, so it gives Spartacus an opportunity to win their fight, and the ball just kept rolling on from there and there and there. But now Converse Purple knows that as an operator on the field, gets to be more cognizant of that possibility.
It's going to be Converse to extend up C long. They put everything here as well. Already, they've got Greasy to sight. Cleared a lot of space. This is a TP of all time. You know, one of the action, and well, you got it.
Ooh, couldn't get away. Brought down to heel by the Hunter's Fury. Truly living up to its name, but finally the spike is going to be planted. Icy having some difficulties to make that happen too. But Greasy's on top of logs. The shield going to keep Yex safe for one, but Icy's going to make sure their jet survives. The dash is into the crate though. El Paso looking behind them in garage. Icy down to the 1v1, a rolling thunder. But staying ahead of the game is Spartacus, and that spike is still not planted. All of the noise being made, Icy realizing we got to do something here. But doing something, well, puts him away. Spartacus for the 3K. Terps, one away.
These Terps in their timeouts eventually start to warrant results. They've been able to pick up their second round now and keep things moving. This operator for Jinho still going to stay on. It'll be over towards the B site. Interested to see where that one ends up touching down at. They're going to go back to this Greasy Blade Storm play. We've seen this before. Didn't quite have the value they wanted it to have, but that was on the defensive side. I'll bring it to the offense here, and what is this slightly broken by? They're going to look to come down quick C long.
How quick is this going to be, though? Moose and No Paso are both here. Setting things up for the shock dart to get rid of the Cypher. Oh, no, he just pulls it back, actually. Yeah, Moose is going to make sure they keep that trip up. Use it for a different opportunity somewhere else. And you can see it's inside of there. Greasy, quick right click, lands all of the knives into the face of No Paso. Easy enough. Did they hear? Oh, Icy through the smoke, you devilish boy. And that's going to be Converse Purple. Spike down. And the wall's going to come up. Oh, Icy. Icy, Icy. Exactly what we needed.
A whole lot of swings on their way without a whole lot of utility, and Icy is always going to be happy to be at the forefront of that. Cleans it up nicely. Has put them into match point territory now. Someone will certainly throw a rifle over to the GOAT, and there it is now. And the Terps will buy what they can. That is unfortunately going to mean a Spectre in their lineup. And a slightly different defensive composition as well. They've got just Paso here, looking towards C long. I'm hoping that that early contact is just a smoke and no more.
I think it might be no
Not even
more.
a smoke, just out of there.
Yeah, just get out. Just play for your life. It's a Spectre, right? Spectre, for goodness sake. Converse Purple wants to get this default going again. Moose? I had to have been big. They had to have gotten rid of Icy there, but Icy is just built diff. Not gonna lose those. Gonna keep the flank alive. Gonna keep things safe. And Puffin, clearing out all of A side. May even grab a free little. Oh, double kill. That's even better. Quick Cage is gonna go up. Put down the neural theft. You know where everybody's hiding now. Go in for the fake TP. Not enough health for Puffin to do anything, but that's where Icy's on the uptake. No Paso alone, in a very pivotal moment where they need to win the round. Icy looked off in the opposite direction, but I don't think No Paso is going to be ready for the 2 deposited in mid. They may be, though. I might just be going crazy here. A little too greedy, though. Avian's going to capitalize on that, and Converse Purple going to win out on Haven, 13-10.
The win out indeed, but it is a much closer game than we initially thought it was going to be. Those first 4 rounds for Converse. Man, did it look like we were about to get to work. But a clean timeout from the Terps, 5 rounds straight, and next thing you know, we had a game on our hands. They unfortunately cannot take their map pick, but man, did they put up a fight.
They sure did put up a fight, and that was the big question mark that we had for this team going into the map pick of Haven. Are they going to be able to do it? They weren't able to, but they did look at the very least good enough, right? That they can still keep on building on this as the weeks go on, right? We're only in week 2. Still so much more possibilities. But let's take a look at the stats, see how our players did, and see who our MVP is going to be. I think by no surprise here, it's Icy. But yeah, I mean, 29 and 16, 362. That's a fragger right there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the start of Agent Select, right? The fact that Icy doesn't have to play a Jet on this team is huge. They get all this initiator utility, and then the frags that come along with it off pure gunplay is so hard to beat. And that is the case in this one. 29-16, massively over the ACS event. Just huge value in terms of utility and with that frag potential. Greasy doesn't get a lot done in terms of frags, but I will say they're so far forward in a lot of instances that they are really just that distraction, allowing for Icy then to go refrag.
Looked beautiful, looked well coordinated, and it's looking like Converse Purple is looking strong tonight. A little rocky here and there. They eventually come back to take it 13-10, but let's see if they're going to be able to close things out on Fracture, or if University of Maryland Terps has something hidden up their sleeve for the second map. Find all of that out and more after this break. It's a crazy first map of Haven that we just managed to get, but 1310 is going to go in the way of Converse Purple. Now, Catnator, we get into our second map. It's a do or die situation if you're the Terps, right? Because if you don't win here, week 2 is going to end in another loss for you. And you don't want to go week 2, right? 0-2. You want to get that 1-1 score line and put one on the Converse Purple in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to say that Terps Esports are hungry for a win. And if you're hungry for something that's real savory, check out Wenzel's Farm. Thank you to them for sponsoring the NECC. And, when you get a meat stick in your mouth, you might get a little thirsty. What else are you going to do than have some G Fuel? Am I right? !Mark G Fuel in the chat. Get you some today.
It's good to help you wash down meat sticks. I don't know here, Cat. I don't know anymore. Hey, you know what? Wenzel, G Fuel, make sure to go and check them out. And let's go ahead and start talking a little bit about Fracture here, right? Because we have gotten a couple of ideas of what things are looking like. Again, when it comes to the meta that's being played, a very popular map for Tejo. Smaller corridors, smaller areas, really leans well into his kit. And on top of that, right, you're throwing in the Breach, where it's a mainstay, right? It's pretty much non-negotiable. You need to have that Breach for Fracture. So those two combine well with each other, and it creates so much space, so much stall potential, and so many different avenues of chaos that you can sow in the ranks of your opposing side.
Yeah, and I think we know kind of where that direction should go for Converse. Definitely just throw Icy right back on the Breach. I mean, so much success. 362 ACS, 29 and 17. It's an easy choice. Right, you throw Icy back on that Breach, let them go crazy. The question then, how does the rest of the comp switch up? Does Greasy stay on a Jet? That's where I'm curious. Very interested to see how the rest of that comp shapes, but I know my GOAT Icy coming straight back to the Breach. It's easy.
I think although I was looking through the roster, I can't remember what I saw, but I think one of the teams played a Viper on Fracture. A Viper, I think maybe Brimstone. So it was interesting to look at the dichotomy of what they were thinking of how Viper is able to play into the map of Fracture, right? Because it's still kind of that smaller map, so you still are able to get some utility out of her, but it really eschews, again, the sort of meta compositions that we get for Fracture. And I wouldn't be surprised. I may have been the Terps that I saw that from, might be going crazy here too, but having that kind of reasoning that we saw from them throwing that into the trash bin for Haven and possibility of them being able to do that again here for Fracture really just leads the minds into different directions of what they are thinking. Or, maybe they toss that away. Maybe it was just an experiment and now they come back into what hopefully will be a better composition for them to win out in this second map of Fracture, take us to that third map of Lotus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Viper is very 2022 core for Fracture for sure. Because I don't think it was the greatest option. So we'll see. Answer the question here. What is it's like looking like going into map number 2?
Gonna hold on to that one for a little second. Keep that a little bit closer to our heart here, Kat. But I'm excited to see what we have, because now we finally do get a little bit of an agent select. Sorry, Kat. Sorry. Hate to do that to you, buddy. But
all good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. We're straight mirroring it. Straight mirroring it. The thing that scares me, though, right, is we have KJs on both teams with Tejos on both teams. You thinking about a lockdown? It's not going to happen anymore. It's going to be eat away.
Yeah, but, we're just too early into the Tejo meta that you can only ask for so much being the differentiator. I will say that we saw Cyphers come out a map ago, but all good. At least the mirror match going to come through. I am interested to see the success of UMD here, having to play into Converse, a squad that just beat you on your map pick, a squad that I do think is just a little bit more practiced. And now you got to try to meet them with the Icy Breach yet again now on a pretty Breach dominant map. How well practiced are both of these teams, and how well can UMD keep up with this squad of Converse?
Well, it's going to be University of Maryland Terps on the attack. Converse Purple defending against them, looking to claim the second map and a 2-0 series for week number 2 of NECC Valorant. NECC already playing up and ahead, but seen by the Spider drone, suppressed by it too, so no Flashback's gonna be able to get them out of there, right? Avian in a really dicey position. They're just gonna fire and shoot for as much as they can. I heard the headshot, but they ran out of ammo. That's where Icy comes in to fill the gap. Finally able to land a couple of those headshots, and Terps are just funneling in, one after the other. But if we get more Yaks plays like that, Converse Purple may just be done and dusted, but Terps Esports are hurting. At the same time, the final two players barely hanging on by a thread. Glad.
All right. Very rare classic collat. Extremely rare even, but Geo making the impossible happen and is going to win that round back for Converse. Yex was really trying to make it happen. Really opened the door, but unfortunately just could not quite squeeze the team through. So Converse will take the pistol yet again here early in the map. Convert that into extra rounds.
It was a pretty simple round too at its core. It was just all throw bodies into A main, see what we can get away with, and they managed to do a lot, but it's Yex. It's that little bit step ahead, gets them, get off the ISO, put them on the breach, and things are looking so much better this go around, at least for them. Not for Terps, obviously, losing on that round, but Avian's gonna send out the spider drone. Ooh, I think they like just barely saw Moose. I don't even know how they did that. It must have been just shadow image or an after image, but there is still a lot of presence from the Terps inside of Arcade. With that lighter buy on their side, it becomes so much more difficult. I don't know how Spartacus got all the way up there, but Avian, a step ahead of the game, knows exactly where everything is going to be. Moose seen by the alarm bot, pushed back down on the stairs. Geo holds things with just a ghost to their name.
It's gonna be a tough one. If you are the Terps, just looking for what you can. You know, we'll grab one, and Moose another. Does pick up the share for their troubles, and we'll dodge the shrapnel as well. Just barely. And that leaves into now a 1v3. You swing this corner. I don't think it's gonna be one long for this world.
Yeah, even if they get something here with it, right? At this point, I may even just like run off to the other side and throw the Vandal away. Don't even
Good orb play.
Don't even let Converse have it. Yeah, they got the orb. Now they're gonna go for it. They're hungry for the fight, but it's a high-low, and you're 15 HP. One shot from anything, and you're gone. Somehow Geo survives the headshot. That's been a wall bang, and then
through the wall.
Yeah, close him down with a ghost.
Our clean start for Geo and Avion. Just getting the job done early. They both will pick up 4 in the first 2 rounds. To carry that momentum now forward. They've got this Vandal still for the bonus. Brought it out of the last round. We'll see if they want to put anything in Geo's hands here. At least the sheriff. Come on, help the Brimstone now. Bro's got 4 kills. Already this game, you're not going to give him a gun.
I'm surprised
Just
Geo doesn't
stingy teammates.
Yeah, I'm surprised Geo doesn't even want to buy a gun for themselves. 3,700 credits? Get away with something here, right? Although,
don't worry. The thought process is your team is going to grab you a gun early round.
yeah, I mean, Geo's still holding this long angle too with a ghost, by the way. Again, but that recon, that turret is going to see them over there. Geo is protecting themselves inside of Arcade, but the question becomes, for how long? Even with their smoke up, slowing them down with the aftershock. Jinho pushed ahead. No Paso, not blinded. It's the wallbang headshot. Icy, so hungry for it, but may have bit off more than they can chew. Greasy holding the angle close, seen here, but wants to dip inside. 12 HP, and Spartacus is down low too. Greasy's not holding on, nowhere long for this world. Avian coming back in for the retake. Yeah, now it's a big question mark here too, because can Moose do it? Greasy has 12 HP. You know they're hiding out in heaven. Moose, just needs to be playing for the sweep, but Greasy missed the headshot. Vital that they gotten it, but they missed it and they didn't. So now they have to dip down below the swarm grenade. Just shoot him alive.
Yeah, I think the hope was that nanoswarm just missed, but it definitely did not. And yeah, from there, I mean, that's a tough one if you're Greasy, right? It's stuck on 12 HP is the thought process of, okay, if I swing here, heaven, if I see him, I have to shoot. Because realistically, if they're looking at me, I'm dead. They're going to instantly shoot on one body shot. It's over. Unfortunately there, Moose was not looking. They had tons of time to line that up and just didn't take advantage of it. But Converse get really close to winning that round. A lot closer than I think they should have been. It's just a bunch of 1v1s from Maryland, and they fortunately are able to get the round, but it's one that is incredibly expensive against a bonus team.
Yeah. No resistance here, though, from Arcade. Instead, it is going to be Icy seeing a lot of the signs of life coming in that direction. Play up for that heaven. and slowed down just a smidge by your own Teho. Off your feet, rolling thunder. Avian dodges the judge shot, then takes another fight, swings back in for another, but couldn't dodge the breach. Yex, Guardian. No Paso and Gio pass by each other, but No Paso sees their mirror matchup before anything goes wrong. Now it's down to the 2v1, where Spartacus has nary an HP to work with. Converse Purple holding on strong.
Bro, I hope Maryland's not playing in the lab. If I'm the race player, I'm throwing hands with everybody, dude. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how practiced they are on this map, because Spartacus puts rockets directly down in front of Jinho, who has a judge there. So obviously he's supposed to be playing quickly into the site. They put the rolling thunder down. That doesn't successfully dodge Heaven, so he gets caught by that as well. And then by that point, they've got nowhere to go. They're getting fragged. I mean, it's just a really botched execute that leaves Converse a free round win. Really didn't have to do much work.
And I get the feeling we're kind of getting that sense of, what do we do again? They finally are going to commit some utility in through Sands on A, but this is where all the KJ is set up. Tapas is going to make it look good with the first blood, but Greasy is quick on the trade. And that's how Converse Purple is playing. They're not doing these isolated 1v1. Someone is there to help protect them, except for Puffin. Puffin's just gonna have to do this, so hopefully this bird knows how to fly. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they're making it look good.
Good one, buddy. And not done just yet. Gonna pick up another, almost the last to go with it. We'll get the assist at least, and IC will pick up the final two. As Converse, another good round. I mean, that one comes by the likes of an anti-eco. They just hold strong on site, and business as usual, taken care of nicely. Jinho back to the judge in this round. Hopefully, it's not going to be Heaven.
Maybe not this time around. Maybe those communications are cleared up a smidge more, hopefully. Interesting thing to note too is we haven't had a timeout yet. I felt like we got one pretty quick from Maryland in the map of Haven, but not so much this go around. Really feeling more confident and sure that they can get away with something here. And Greasy's wait, okay, I thought that was gonna snipe Moose. It looked like it was on the right trajectory, but Moose, I think, had gotten to safety on A main just in the nick of time, but you have to know that this KJ is somewhere around CT. Either that or they've taken the zip line to regroup with their team across. But a battle in tunnel is about to unfold. That No Paso is going to take the fight for. Ooh, yeah. The double kill.
Yeah, cleaned up nicely. There's both of those gunfights. It's going to leave Terps the opportunity to really take this round. Rockets in early P Heaven yet again, and they're going to use that just for the fake. They'll walk the other direction. They do make the KJ util just a bit earlier than anticipated. That allows Avian to pick up one on the back line, and now a chance to really win these fights. It's going to be a huge distraction off the judge player, though, and Spartacus with the entry pick.
Yeah, and Jinho knows where Gio's going to be. No Paso wants to be the one to occupy that kill feed. Terps Esports took a little bit of time, right? Took a couple of rounds in a row from Converse Purple, but they do manage to get one on the board, starting to set things right for the economy, and especially if they can win this one, Converse Purple is going to be broken, and that leads them into being able to tie up Fracture.
That it does. We do get some slight defensive movement here, and Converse looking yet again to get back into that aggressive play style. They're going to put this TO raise up first. Spotted by No Paso. Still going to get caught, though. Full concussed in a double blast pack for Greasy to pick up the first. There is a trade there. But still, they're holding this team fully off of A satellite.
Okay. Jinho. Both eyes directed at Heaven. Looks away for a second. Make sure no one's sneaking up to Arcade. Not. Converse Purple is playing Fracture in a wildly different way, right? You put your duelists out there on early engagement duties, and then once they fall, the rest of the team huddles and turtles on site. I take that back though, right? The initiators are still kind of pushed up on A main, but Moose has an alarm bot there, so you don't want to trip that and play your hand too early and lose someone valuable like Avian or Icy. And Avian's even going to make that play. They saw the contact, backs away, does a couple of shots there. Hope it's going to be pushed back by the guided salvo. Hit for the fault line, but they're still alive. And they even pushed out further by the paint shells. Good take here of Heaven from Terps. Now there's an orbital strike that's going to slow things down yet again.
And they do all the work to re-clear this heaven spot, and they're losing that advantage they had of holding players outside towards A main. Fortunately, they've got this lockdown, which gives them all this room here towards spawn. You have to make a decision. Are you fighting this or not if you're Converse? And the choice is clearly the latter. Puffin's fought it in heaven, has won it nicely. The teammate finally going to come through, but everybody's able to sneak away. The Breach now out to pick up one from heaven, a second to go with it. The Terps trying to fight their way back into this one on the back of Yex.
Yeah, and that's it. That's time. Even if Yex was able to get the double kill there, it wouldn't have mattered. Well, it would have mattered because they win the round that way too, but it was going to be difficult regardless. It was going to be the high-low. You had an Armageddon at your back, and things were just looking so dicey there for Terps, and it looked like it was going in their way at first. They had the numbers evened out. They had all of these ultimates, right? Look at all the ultimates they could be using. Just wasn't there, and Converse Purple continuing to solidify that lead further and further.
That they are. They do a good job of playing around that lockdown, recognizing that Puffin's got to make something happen. Was able to do just that, continuing to have those big plays. It was 2 to lock down the A site. It was an 8 to map ago. Now a nice 2K from B Heaven to hold on to control and really shut down what was that hold from Moose. I think for so long towards the outside of A main, and Converse gonna occupy that space yet again. Drones out. Moose gonna be known about even if they don't get the reveal window, and Greasy freely able to pick up that one. That's great TO util to open the door.
I mean, Moose has been either holding flank for far too long that you get over to the side and it's just not happening, but Jinho's going to give us an ultimate finally, right? The showdown is going to be popped, but Terps are getting aggressive. They want to try and play for another pick if they can, but other than that, finally going to get over to the site, plant the spike. I'm sure we're going to hear the guided salvos finally making their way through. It's not in the area that they thought it was going to be, and so Terps gets to play around with some of this utility. Now we have an Armageddon, break 1 KJ piece of util. Or ultimate, rather.
Yeah, the ult for ult here. Breach gonna send one back. Rolling Thunder online. That's a perfectly placed Rolling Thunder as well. Everybody gonna caught in that one, and No Paso easily able to pick up 2, make this one a 2v2. Avian up for contact.
Avian up for contact, and it's gonna be their head ripped off the shoulders by No Paso. Icy, we know you're a breach extraordinaire. We know what you're capable of, but this one feels like a tall order in and of itself. One inside of heaven, one on the other side of you. The mob makes sure that even if you win, there is no time. They win the fights, but they don't win the round.
The Terps just make that one tricky. With lots of utility, a Roomba to kill some extra time, guaranteeing that Icy not going to have a fun time at it. Certainly can't get the job done. Does hurt Econ, but it is definitely going to be Converse on the worst end of this one. They've been prone to buying so far throughout this series, despite being down in Econ, and it's looking like we're getting a mixed buy here into this one. It's just the Outlaw for Avian. A chance to push on Satellite yet again. It looks like the Terps more so reading into this one this go around, unless No Paso can't win this fight.
I mean, if Avian can really go crazy with that Outlaw, yeesh. But how crazy are things going to be here for No Paso, right? Yeah, Puffin trying to dodge around. Geo wants to go in for a quick dip with the Classic, but that is trying to stand toe-to-toe with a Raze, who's been feeling themselves this entire time. No more smokes, though, if you're Terps Esports, but you're more than happy to get away with the numbers advantage on your side. Swing over on the CT spawn, or attacker spawn, rather, with the zipline. Play over on the other side. Moose looked away. Moose looked away. Moose looked away. Inside a tunnel. Easy as pie.
Yeah, looked away and never looked back. So is not going to be none the wiser of that zipline play, and that leaves Converse now in a good position to retake this one. This drone's going to get information. It will get just the one. They don't have it in the info off of Heaven. That is just where this retake was playing, or this post plan, excuse me, was playing. Retake on its way now. Greasy the first, you know, a trade, but it's Shrapnel to pick up the frag.
Yeah, right. Spartacus says 125. That Outlaw will be good enough. Icy has enough time to get to the half, even from the guided salvos. Oh my god, literally 1 HP. A guided salvo to slow them down, but it's not playing it for them. At their back, Avian is just gonna run them down with a Classic. Pick up a nice new weapon to go along with it. Converse Purple has a half.
Yeah, guarantee they'll tie this one up at the very least. I like that salvo play a lot. just to try to push forward there and make some spacing. Same story there in terms of delivery, making sure that they got time to at least spam that crate, but as you mentioned, it's just not planted in the right place, so not able to make the difference in that round. And Converse do a good job of recognizing, okay, they just played the breach on site, Jinho just played heaven, let's nade that first. Greasy able to do a great job of swinging out, getting two with that utility, and next thing you know, they're in a prime position to win the round.
Terps not feeling like they're going to be in prime position to win this round. It's every single player, minus Moose. Again, they love their A main. Going in through drop. Jinho's going to do a couple of shots, take out the turret, but slowed down massively. Puffin! Puffin's flying! Can't you see that? They're flying. They're doing a couple hops. They're being run down now. A couple of sprays. Make sure Jinho's not going to go any further than that, but it's far too many numbers for one to do by themselves. That's where the final boss, that's where the raid boss of Icy comes in. Protect their teammate. Try to slow them down with the aftershock, but... okay, Greasy. Scared me there a little bit, buddy, but just fine. Lands the shots. Converse purple. Looking good.
Indeed, Greasy's really coming to their own this game as well. I want to say 4 and 17, but I don't think it might have been 8. It might have been 8 and 17. In map number 1, really was just the decoy in that game, but this time around, in some of these early retakes, not only are they finding space in terms of just their body, but they're finding space in frags as well, which makes it just that much different, right? Knowing that you've got someone there to be a distraction, but also to grab a frag, maybe even 2. That really opens the door nicely for the team, and they've really come into their own as the series has continued.
Ooh. Okay. Now the guided salvo is going to land on them. Jinho's been slowed down by the fault line. I think they took some chip damage maybe from Avian's guided salvo. The only explanation that I can think of. No passos by themselves at drop. You got to realize that the swarm grenade's going to be there too, but no turret that's going to catch them on the back foot from that. Icy's looking all over. They hear the door from Sands opening. Throw in a spider drone too, and the alarm bells are going to be ringing massively. Spartacus 5 HP. A bullet from Greasy is all it takes. The orbital strike makes things so scary. It was either Greasy was going to be cooked by that. Oh, Avian's just going to fly in from heaven above. Jinho pushed out by the rolling thunder right into the crosshairs of Avian. Couldn't have been done any more beautifully by the initiators. Moose is concussed out of their mind, and now you figured out where the final one is. Guided salvo with the fault line. Moose only good for 1. Even though they got 3, right? They're only good for that 1 there.
It's a tough round. Definitely a tough round there for the Terps. They try to change things up. Recognize they've been playing so slow. Converse did a good job of just retaking in pretty even game states, and they try to move a little bit faster, try to find some early contact, or just give themselves a slight advantage before that retake scenario can come into effect. But it's just Converse yet again hitting the shots, doing a good job of playing around each other. Their reactive utility has been fantastic all the way through this game, and that trend continues on now. The Terps once again go back to that slower play. They are, though, moving everything onto just one side of the site. They want to take a B split. They want to take it hard.
Jinho. Yeah, that turret's going to be a thorn in your side. Now we have another lockdown. The first one didn't get broken. The guided salvo was on the high ground. Puffin has no choice but to take a fight. No choice? What do? Just take down every single player here. They've been detained and they're going to be run down. Spartacus blown up into Kingdom Come. The worst part about this is, right, No Paso doesn't have the spike. They only have the Guardian. The Aftershock is in their face. The util dump of the Sentry. All players running at them. Do a quick jump peek. And Greasy wants to do it shorty style. Converse purple. 9-3 for the first half.
Switching sides.
Yeah, that's really how that last lockdown play looked as well. It was Puffin caught out in a position there, had to do something, decided to get active. It was a 2K before from B-Heaven. This time it's a 3K, and it's the round pretty much converted right as soon as that play is developed. So 6 rounds, the lead going into the half. Converse purple pistol. Hey man, it might be time to call it. The Terps, can they lock it in? They're going to look to play at Brimstone early hallway. Everything else looking towards this B side. And fortunately for them, we've got eyes on the whole map and know that is where the action looks to be headed.
He's gonna Terps Esports lock it in. Start cooking up something massive here. I like this play too. It's 3 players inside of arcade. Good read. Like Greasy. Gets that first blood. Jinho is gone. Right. The thing is, though, Greasy is hanging on by a smidge of HP, and you even did a little bit more to Icy of all people. But the turret from Moose is going to be the one to bring to heal Greasy. It's back and forth between these 2 players. Yex is still looking so clean on these pistol rounds. Unfortunate that they get taken out. Spartacus continues their train over on the high ground. Icy wasn't ready for it. Now it's Avian for the 1v2 and to get the spike.
Spike chilling on the ground here. The Terps just going to look to hold on to it. I don't know how you wrestle this one back if you're Avian. Going to look to just grab one out of tunnel and go from there. You have to hope they'll give something. Spartacus is giving this 1v1 peek. Now there's contact there. There's no way you repeat this thing. Oh my God. Days! Spartacus overstays their welcome. They're hoping that there is going to be someone to refrag, and it's Avian. The Ghost connects right on time in that extended gunfight. Converse somehow pull a pistol out of the rubble.
Avian is a Tejo main here. Got named. All right. That's really all it is.
Oh man.
15 and 7. All on their shoulders. Right? It's players either crumble under the pressure or they rise to the occasion, and Avian surpassed all of those. Moose is by themselves, by the way. Look at that. There was no hope. You're staring down the gun barrel of an Avian Vandal, and Jinho had their knife out. They thought they could get away, but instead it's Greasy. Blast packing into the speed of light with a Spectre, and then they're gonna go long range with that. Finally, right? You can only go so far with that Spectre. You can only get so much mileage from it, but 3 players gone for Terps? Not looking good.
No, certainly not. Certainly not looking good. We'll see what they can kind of cook back into this one. You gotta hope that somebody can just find something with the Sheriff. There is a 1v1. Other player really committing to it, and it's the flash to come through. It's that reactive utility I mentioned before from Converse. Set up nicely there. Icy gonna give that one to Geo, and Avian will find the last. Converse now in the driver's seat. Just a few rounds to go.
I'm starting to realize it, right? They got an NRG buddy. I don't know what that means, but Converse.
all right. Appreciate
Converse purple. 2 rounds away from the map victory, 2 rounds away from the series victory, and another notch on the board for the score line in week 2. Terps Esports gonna be a long road to even things back up.
Yeah.
11-3. They need 8 rounds in a row. It has to all start here and deny the bonus of Converse purple. But man, that's feeling like a difficult task to make happen. No Paso pushed it into the corner. Not seen by the spider drone. But Converse purple, knowing what's on the line, don't want to give Terps Esports any momentum to be gained. They want to make this decisive, and they want to end this now.
Spartacus is going to be that first pick here out of Satellite. It's 2 players playing some pretty deep 1v1s. Unfortunately, they do keep the other alive, so Converse can re-engage this now as a team. Still, that isolated 1v1, they push in front of the smoke.
What?
And there comes the team play. Icy and Geo, both good for one apiece.
And they get Vandals. So, even better opportunity. But I'm looking at the HP board, right, for every Converse purple. Icy has the most. I don't think they have 50 HP. How do 3 players in Valorant 2025 not have 50 HP between them? Guess it's the economy. I don't know. Yeah, that's just easy enough for Spartacus to be able to do things like hit your bullets. They don't even need to be headshots. And Converse purple, blown away.
And a couple easy body shots picked up, and happy to have that one for sure. If you're Spartacus, gonna keep this team's motor chugging to the slightest degree. Thinking about the buys for them here. A couple cells back. They are gonna manage to get rifles on everybody, but this is starting to feel like a round that you have to win if you're the Terps. You have to win this one.
It's non-negotiable. Then Converse purple moves into match and series point. Your economy's broken. I wouldn't be surprised if the mentals go along with it either.
Yeah.
Spartacus, okay, all right, just go ahead, get out, Moose. The spider drone's chasing you down. Someone suppressed or detected from it, but same can't be said for the Spartacus spider drone catching 2. Greasy's still gonna go for it. The player is hungry. This Raze wants it. Nice seeing the player fall in, blinded out, but goes for the crouch spray. Spartacus can't hold for that long either. Icy. Bold maneuver to still play inside of the flash from BX. The headshot is clean. So is Terps Esports right now. We're talking about that pivotal round they need to win. It starts here.
And Moose going to look to continue to make sure this round does become a W. So it'll be 2 players who have the opportunity and have shown us before they have what it takes to turn rounds. So I would not count them out just yet. They're also going to work into a 2v2 here. It's all about when does Jinho swing all. You'd hope they'd just hold strong and ramp. Molly is going to push them backwards. That gives some space to be having a Converse won it.
Regen Shield's gonna come back, so not the worst scenario for Jinho. Time is at 20 seconds. Converse Purple needs to do something here eventually, but he's just gonna back away from the spray down in through smoke. This pinch play is going to hurt Converse Purple. Strike is eventually gonna be planted. Avian thinking they killed No Paso. Massive mistake there, cost them their lives. Converse Purple can't seem to get anything after that bonus round. Terps Esports, like I said, it's a long road. They're walking it, and they're doing it.
They're walking it indeed. Just got to keep winning rounds and, most importantly, keep players alive. They do so nicely there. They get 4 rifles back out of that round. Just, you have to make sure in this scenario you do not have to rebuy. You can keep that economy strong, and they've done a good job of doing this in that round. Converse pretty much going to bang down the hatches. They put everything into a rough IRA. Look to pull it back out here in a couple rounds.
Oh wow. It's some next level investment strategy there.
Yeah, they've all got financial classes.
Yeah, look at that. All these college kids taking their financial literacy courses.
Love to see it.
Set themselves up for success in the future. Converse Purple. May not even need to do the future here. May not need to worry about that if they can get something working. Greasy's gonna blast back in, but they didn't have the monkey out. It was their knife, and so Jinho's gonna be the one to grab the first blood. Quick trade in from Geo though, as Moose has their back turned to Icy, thinking arcade, no one else is gonna come through there, surely. And the future is now. If you're Converse Purple, Armageddon, Icy has no choice but to get out of it, and Spartacus is gonna take full advantage of it with no passo, but is traded in kind by another Armageddon. Clearing out canteen, clearing out kitchen, maybe an opportunity finally for this spike to be planted.
Spike planted.
Diabolical.
Diabolical indeed. The first frag picked up by the likes of Rockets for Spartacus. Puffin caught out by the breach, nowhere to go. An Avian, a Bucky in hand. Can they find a post plant?
I don't know, right? Avian does have the guided salvo, but they're waiting. They're waiting. It's a good idea to take a shot through the dark, but No Passo's just gonna keep going. Avian thought that no one could be holding it for that long, right? But very wrong on that end. And then quick pick off by the Aftershock, just to go into the next round with the rest of the team. And a timeout here.
Yeah, you know, just kill momentum a little bit here. I don't think they really need to do much different from an offensive standpoint, but you get a chance to now go to the chalkboard, right, drop the play, and in the meantime, you make sure that the Terps, who have slowly strung some rounds together, are getting slown up as well, icing the kicker, if you will. So the Terps, a chance to talk as well. Not sure what the difference would be for them personally. I mean, they've been playing a slower defensive game, and it's worked nicely for them. The Converse to see what kind of momentum they want to come out with in this round. I do think, if anything, I would expect them to play this next round pretty quickly.
Getting that vibe too. Converse Purple, a couple of key ultimates they can use to break the doors open. Showstopper, the Orbital Strike. If they can really bully and abuse Terps Esports on this A-side exec, I'm sure they're... We got one player looking in that direction, but I don't know if the rest of the squad is going to commit to that. Yeah, they're going to go back over towards B. A couple of players across the zip line. May just even be Avian to try and make that work and happen. They're going to be joined up by Geo and Greasy. So you leave an Icy and Puffin to take the fight on main. 3 in arcade. And again, we're talking about that showstopper. We're talking about that orbital strike. 2 key ultimates to keep an eye on going into this round.
Oh, this util coming out quickly. Showstopper. Ghost Swords Heaven, not going to spot anything here. I think still in his hands. It is indeed going to come down here. Down towards mid, nothing spotted. So Plant's going to go down for Converse, and they've got all this post plant utility too. They got to be feeling good about it.
A good opportunity. Massive ultimates. They still get to keep the orbital stride. They even have the rolling thunder. Orb given up for free. Out comes the... Oh, that's bad. Greasy was just stuck in the middle. But again, we're talking about the ultimates that are still online. As long as Icy, as long as Geo are able to survive, they can do something with it. But it's in heaven. Jinho goes for the quick swing. Orbital strike. Again, buying that time. It's Icy by themselves. Gonna commit the rolling thunder. But I think, yeah, Spartacus got caught inside of it. But you gotta have your weapon out, Icy. You're gonna flash them. You get an aftershock 2. You land 1 shot, but it burns enough time. And it catches all of Terps Esports inside of it. Brilliant stall play from Converse Purple to give the match and series point.
You know, I'll let Spartacus get away with it because, to be fair, they are concussed there. But, dog, he just threw it from under. Where do you think he is? Turn around, big dog. Icy gets away with one there. The only reason they're able to kill Diffuser is because they're still alive, as Spartacus is just kind of looking the other way, but... it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Converse gonna sneak around away, and it's, as you mentioned, they play that round so fast. He's a showstopper to get in and have those 2 ults just to kill all that time. So while they lose the gunfights, they certainly win at the end of the day. Now match point at their disposal.
Spartacus has the drone there. Gonna back away, right? It's all about playing for your life, playing for these numbers, playing with your homies. Util dump of the century. Spartacus has to try and hold here, right? And then the guided salvo, this is going to be that little extra wrinkle that Converse Purple has to fight against. Avian is half HP, Greasy, 81 health, 11 shields. Not much to work with for either of those players, but Avian working with what they got. Brings the heal, yes. Spartacus on the other side of the smoke, gets rid of the duelist. Avian is still carrying the torch for this team.
Even gonna sit under hell. And no peek gonna come back through, waiting out these smokes. Asmoose will pick up 1 from Satellite, gonna even the scores here. With the extra HP bar at their disposal too. Terps in a position to convert this retake.
Position. Avian finally getting a chance to get rid of that lockdown. Terps Esports, that banking plan was not there. If only Jinho had done that a little bit quicker, right? An opportunity to come back in for the fight. Now it's down to Puffin. Unfortunately, the wings ripped off this bird. Terps Esports holding on for another round.
They'll play that round great. Use that lockdown. It doesn't get any value, right, because of that TO, but it does give them the information of where they are at the very least. So it allows for the swing to come through, easy frag to come through off of it thanks to Jinho, and from there they're able to start to push on towards site together as Converse is trying to react to that in the moment. So post plant shut down, a game to continue on, and Converse no money in the pockets either, certainly having to save out of this round. I'd expect something quick from them, really just looking for a plant in and out of this one. The Terps still hanging on to life.
Clinging on. We're starting to see some the pulse coming back on the monitor. Opassa's got to play and get out of there real fast. I let the guided salvo get rid of them. Put down the molly on the ground. Quick blind flash there too. Unfortunately, Icy in a really bad position. I think they got hit by the molly, then caught by the guided salvo. It was just nowhere for this breach to go. And Greasy was really lucky they didn't get caught by a stray bullet with a spray through the smoke from Terps Esports.
Yeah, this round pretty much already done for. An orb picked up from Greasy, so at least something converted, something of value for this team, just trying to build up some ult economy. And if you think about it, they technically will collect some more orbs as well once these players do fall. So ult econ at their exposure, it depends on really what can they do past this point, and it is going to be just another orb picked up. That's actually almost the Armageddon converted. Just gonna need 2 more orbs, really 1 after that death orb comes through.
Okay, all right. right, Gio. Doing whatever they can with that classic, and that's sometimes more than you could expect. We got crazy plays here from Yex. And maybe that movement error is not going to affect them too much, but with Avian being concussed out of their minds, it's easy pick'ems here for Jinho. Like we said, that pulse is getting stronger and stronger, Cat.
So Avian going to be now just one off that Armageddon. All the ults here. Got to be smart about how they utilize them going forward. You hope that Rolling Thunder is useful for retake. Armageddon, same story. Or at the very least for denying plant. Just got to make sure they can keep as many up as possible here, as they are, as you mentioned, just slowly growing the pulse. You got to hold on to what you can here to make these rounds easier.
All right, we got salvo after salvo. Jinho, early showstopper,
Nice.
catches Greasy in the corner. Here, shattered. Axe broken for Converse Purple.
That could have gone much differently there. Able to re-recognize and convert. And that has huge implications now going into the rest of this round here, as Converse no choice but to kind of shoo themselves in towards A main. They've got no positioning here. There's lots of defensive utility against them. That's called out the orbital strike.
Converse Purple, they're just right. It's just get in there fast plays. Crazy swing from Moose. Following through the Armageddon and the
they used
Rolling
everything.
Thunder. But they dodged, so every
they
single
used
ultimate from
everything.
Terps used.
And there's still a minute left on this round. They pulled the trigger so early. Converse, you mentioned how fast they typically play. They're able to completely throw this defense off here and grab an ult orb. Now they've built their own ult. They've utilized everything on the opponent's side, and they've got the time to re-engage.
And Puffin's just chilling out and drop too, right? We're playing the mind games.
And they
if you're Converse
stall
Purple.
so long that this team's going to completely leave as well. Converse really just played them like a book.
And you still have to realize that Puffin is here, right? You're not going to leave them unchecked and drop. This one KJ alone may be enough to stall down the CT push from there. No Paso in the other corner, but time is starting to run slim. And Spartacus No Paso pulling in overtime double duty to keep the Terps Esports dreams alive. Converse Purple may not be able to have gotten that round, but a silver lining, right, with taking all of the ultimates from Terps.
Oh, for sure. Being able to grab all those ults is just huge. And it means they've got everything going into this round. I mean, we just saw them convert off the likes of a Lockdown, a Rolling Thunder, and a Showstopper. This time they're going to trade that Rolling Thunder for an Armageddon. But really, the ults are very similar. They've got the chance now to go back and do the same thing here. This time they want to hit it towards the A site. The only thing they're missing here is weaponry in this round. You certainly expect them to play this one fast as well. Just look for some picks and see where it goes from there. Wouldn't expect them to win this one, but certainly would expect them to look for some picks.
Yeah, it's just Terps Esports poking, dumping up smidge of utility here or there. You see the lone player still inside of drop, positing a satchel, so that's one less that they could use to initiate on the site if they want to do that. Puffin gets to keep themselves safe from the spider drone. Now, right, if you're Terps Esports, you get rid of the turret that was still active. Where is that pesky KJ? And the problem with this pesky KJ, Cat, is that they have the spike and only a sheriff, and they're being pushed on by Spartacus and No Paso. So you really have to hope they can land this headshot. Good news, though, the rest of the team is here to give them that edge. El Paso keeping themselves alive, but they have to realize more players are here and you just roam around, play, and abuse the movement. Upgrades for Converse Purple, and they have not only the numbers advantage, they have the ult advantage, and they may even be taking this A site.
And they just got weapons back at their disposal, getting to steal them off of bodies. Fortunately, Yex is going to be here. Has picked up one. Will flash out for more. Going to get thrown out the angle, though. And Icy also going to grab a sheriff frag. The upgraded weaponry going to find a frag. And suddenly, it's a 2v1.
Oh! The crouch from Avian! Converse Purple has to thrifty it to 13-9 fracture, 2-0 in the series.
And they had the ults. They held on to them, and they didn't even need them at the end of the day. It's a couple of sheriffs and some good shooting, excuse me.
It really was. I mean, it was a picture perfect thrifty round coming out from Converse Purple. And where we were thinking, like, okay, this should still be Terps. They got the weapon advantage. But it's always like those moments where you underestimate a team.
Yeah.
It costs you everything. I think it's really no surprise here that Avian is topping the leaderboard at 262. But I mean, No Paso is really putting in some bench pressing of their own on the Brimstone at 18 and 17. 3 first bloods for your controller.
Yeah, I mean, going down the KDs here, everybody really had a good game. Everybody had moments, puffing some big plays from the back of sight. It's a 13-19 scoreline at the end of the day, but still, those individual moments so big from Heaven. Greasy opening sights so well. Spartacus holding down sights. Moose with some big utility. Jinna with 1 or 2 entry frags that were crucial for UMD. Really, everybody had a stake in that game, looked a lot better than map 1 for everyone involved. Scoreline's much more even, not just the IC show. Just a good series overall.
I think what's even more impressive, right? We don't have the first bloods for the rest of the players on our stat screen, but it's, again, really even. It's 4-3, 4-3, 3-3, right? We're seeing a lot of players, like you said, having a really good game of Fracture. And you could have been misled, especially going into that 9-3, right, Kat? That, yeah, Converse Purple was going to run away with this, but we actually got that fight back from UMD.
Right.
It took a little bit of time to get there, and you can only imagine how this team, how the Terps are going to improve as we go on through the weeks.
Yeah, and imagine if that wasn't a 6-round differential at the halftime, right? The fact that we mentioned they're clinging to life. We know how much harder it is to try to come back in a game than it is to be even score lines and trading rounds. So if that's a closer half, there's really an argument for OT, if not beyond that, in this map. And you got to give credit to UMD throughout this series. We're down in both matches, still able to come back and make both games look competitive. I mean, I mentioned it coming back from the break, that 4-0 map 1, I thought, okay, it's done for. And immediately they take a timeout. They take 5 rounds. Next thing you know, they're winning that map. So the fact that they're able to make games so close really speaks to the mental fortitude of this team.
And it does, but it's still Converse Purple to eke ahead and grab a second win going into the spring 2025 season for NECC Valorant. That makes them 2-0 now, unfortunately for the Terps, now at 0-2. That is going to be it for us tonight, though, Kat. I do want to remind everyone, however, to make sure to hit that follow button if you're on the Twitch, or subscribe on YouTube, so that way you get notifications to when the channel goes live, because we still have more action happening here on the NECC channel throughout the week, including tomorrow. As a matter of fact, we have League of Legends, where it's Tactics versus Weber State. Then on Wednesday is Counter-Strike 2. Thursday is Rocket League. And finally, to end things and top things off, is going to be Friday Overwatch. But again, a massive thank you to all of you out there who watched tonight. Always hit that follow button, follow us on all of the socials, and we'll see all of you on the next broadcast.